House District 60, finishing up week 6 here in the 2025 long session. Just wanted to give you a little video update. We've been making progress. We're about halfway through to the first session deadline. What the first session deadline means is if your bill has not been scheduled in the House chamber or Senate chamber, it will die. So of the 2,000 plus bills we have in the House, 1,000 plus bills that we have in the Senate, we'll probably only be left with a couple hundred in each chamber. That's a good thing. A couple of bills that we've been talking about regularly on these updates are the RFPA bills, Rural Fire Protection Agency bills. 3349, which is the policy to allow the department and ODF&W to work more with the RFPAs, give them more equipment, tires, fuel, communication like we've talking about, and the funding mechanism for that, House Bill 3350. We have a tentative hearing date for March 25th. We'd love to get some of the RFPA members from the House District 60 to the Capitol. We'll be trying to coordinate with some of you, but if you want to send us an email, that'd be great. Love to have you down here, tell your story. Hope to have a successful public hearing. A couple of bills that are district specific, mainly to the Harney Basin. As some of you know, the Harney Basin is in the middle of going through a critical groundwater designation rulemaking. Been in it almost 2 years, been in the conversation of groundwater in Harney Basin now for almost a decade. We have two bills coming up on March 10th, House Bill 3800 and 3801, which will instruct the Water Resource Department to do some things in rules, some things that the community has asked for, and the department seems to be having a resistance to doing. And 3801, clarification on what a volunteer agreement can be. So there's two ways that the department can go to reaching reasonable, stable groundwater. A regulatory approach, where the community can enter a volunteer agreement with the state that has to be approved by the commission. We're trying to give guidance that voluntary agreement should not be a regulatory process, that it should support the community values and community desire. And that's what 3801 is all about. We'd love to get more people in the Capitol on March 10th. We're going to have on the House floor one of the first bills that I co-chiefed, or actually chiefed this year, was House Bill 3127. Will be up Tuesday. It's a simple fix, but a much needed fix. It is came to us from some of our funeral directors in House District 60. Right now, if you or a loved one passes away in a hospital that had fewer than 10 deaths, a hospital does not have to use the electronic filing form for the death certificates. They can take up to 28 days for family members to receive the death certificate so they can do the processing and start to find closure. If they use the electronic form, it typically turns around in 7 days or less. So this bill will require all death certificates, regardless of the amount of people that have passed away in a hospital, to be filed electronically. I expect no resistance. It's made it out of committee with bipartisan support and unanimously, and I expect it to pass, honestly, unanimously on the House floor. Be a good one. This coming up Monday, we have the predictive harvest level bill for Oregon. House Bill 3103 coming up this Monday. Predictive harvest level management bill and state forest lands. This is something some of the timber industries in the counties asked me to run, even though I don't have much state forest lands in House District 60. But it will require ODF&W to put out how many board feet they're going to cut for a 5-year period of time. If they cannot achieve that cut that they put out there, there's ways to make that cut get rolled over. There's ways to make ODF&W accountable. It's a good governance bill. It's not trying to take away from the standards that are in the private forest accord. It's not trying to take the standards that are from habitat conservation plans, but it is going to allow counties, industry, and communities to understand the harvest levels and have some accountability to make sure those harvest levels are met. It'll be a good bill. It's going to be some controversy on that bill. Some of our conservation friends are a little concerned. We've met with them 3 or 4 times. We're in a good spot. House Bill 3103, the Predictive Harvest Level Management Bill on State Forest Lands. Been working with Senator Nash on the predator-controlled cougars mainly. Looks like there's some agreement that ODF might give us some flexibility in some areas in Oregon to do some more eradication of cougars to try for ungulate population increase. I want to thank Senator Nash for working with that and We met with ODF&W and Senator Golden last week, and looks like there's a path forward to have some success in this bill. We'll keep you informed. Senator Nash will keep you informed, but it looks like it's a positive step in the right direction. Appreciate all the community members and Merle Reed for helping try to get letters to the Senate committee. It has made a difference. Oh, I want to talk a little bit about water data. I've been getting lit up on social media on water data, specifically House Bill 3419. It was a measure and reporting bill, had a -2 and -3 amendments. They were wrong, did not support them. What I've learned through this process is a lot of my communities still have a lot of concern on water data. I've been trying to work on water data since 2021, when I've learned that the state doesn't understand even groundwater in 52% of the state to know if water's available or not. That's what causes the boom and bust cycle. I fully support putting water to beneficial use, having robust ranches and farms, and getting the most value we can from that water. But when we start over appropriating basins by 30, 40, 50 to 100%, it causes a boom and bust cycle. So I'm still of the mind that we need to understand what water comes in, what water goes out, and what water we're using, so we can have better management of the resource. It's not to try to take anything from farmers and ranchers. I am a farmer myself. It's try to force the department to manage water. It's try to understand where you stop allocating so our farms can be successful into the future. What I've said, and I'll say again, is the vast majority of our farmers and ranchers use the water within their legal amount. That's a good thing. The public needs to understand that. What I've also learned is that our community has some concerns about takings, forfeitures, reduction of water use based on that data. So right now I'm going to focus on a forfeiture bill, working with some water right attorneys that support agricultural communities to make sure that there can't be takings from people when they're using their water, irrigating their ground, as long as they're irrigating that ground. So if you don't have to put your full amount of water on there, you shouldn't be forced to. So I'm going to step back a little bit, going to work on the forfeiture statute and make sure I don't get too far in front of my communities. With that, let's call it a wrap for week 6. Look forward to checking in with you guys next week. Be safe and enjoy the sunshine.